The relationship that we have with Pastor Jeanette and Pastor Dexter, we look at them as mentors, and they always seem to have a word that's right what we need, and we know it's from God because it's always right on time. And they've helped us in our relationships with each other as well as with others. I remember years and years ago, I might have been maybe 20 years old, so probably about 10 years ago, Pastor Jeanette prayed for me one time, and the word she said to me was that He'll take your ashes and He'll give you beauty for ashes. And I never really understood what that meant until I started facing trials and tribulations that life brings you through, that you face more sometimes as an adult, maybe not always as a teenager. And then I realized what the true beauty of life was.
In around July of last year, in my relationship, I was suffering from some major deal breakers, such as SAD, disloyalty, abuse, and I ended up incarcerated for my third DWI and ended up having to do 45 days at the Washington County Work Release Program. During this course of time, I felt like it was a much needed evaluation, and I asked God to show me what it was like to be a husband. I felt like some situations that were strongly lacking in my marriage was based on my lack of knowledge or examples or understanding of what it was like to be a husband. And during this time, God was able to reveal to me certain things in His scripture and in His word. I made a pledge to my wife and to my family. And I told my wife that from this day forward, that I was tired of leaving God at home and partying out in the streets with the devil. And I realized that my heart is also where my treasures lie. And we began to come to church again. And I remember specifically Pastor Petrie was here that particular Sunday. And he was empowering me and telling me that I was a direct heir of God and that I didn't have to struggle and do certain things that I was doing. And during this course of time, I am in the hospitality industry where I work at Red Lobster. I was waiting tables, and a young lady came in and she said, for no apparent reason, I'm leaving you this $50 check because God has told me to do it. And she says, you have a calling on your life. Not days later, we were having some car trouble or some car problems. And my wife's job called us and asked us where they could cut the check and send it. So in a matter of 2 days, God had sent $50. 2 days later, He sent $500. Shortly thereafter, I got a promotion at the same facility that incarcerated me, which was the Washington County Animal Shelter. And the same city that sentenced me some 6 years ago to incarceration, and it had me incarcerated for some 45 days, turned around and gave me an opportunity to be able to minister to people like myself on an everyday basis and to be an example for Christ.